Donald Trump walked into the studio with absolute confidence, ready to command the stage, until Colbert dropped a revelation that froze the room. What appeared on the screen moments later left the entire audience in stunned silence. The lights in the Ed Sullivan Theater were already bright and buzzing as the audience filed in that night in early 2026. People were chatting, laughing, snapping selfies with the famous blue backdrop behind the desk. It felt like any other late show taping, expecting the usual mix of celebrity guests, sharp jokes, and Colbert's quick one-liners. The band was warming up, the warm-up guy was cracking jokes to get everyone loose, and the energy was high but comfortable. Then the stage manager whispered something urgent into his headset, and the whole room changed. Heads turned toward the side entrance as Secret Service agents moved in quietly, forming a loose line. Phones started coming out fast, whispers spread like wildfire. Is that really him? No way, the president! And sure enough, Donald Trump stepped out from the wings. Suit crisp, red tie perfect, that familiar walk that says he owns every room he enters. The crowd erupted into a messy mix of cheers, boos, gasps, and nervous laughter. The sitting president showing up unannounced on late-night TV? That alone was insane. But everyone already knew why he was really there. For weeks, the internet had been on fire with the wildest rumor anyone had heard in years. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett had gone on record saying she had credible information that Ivanka Trump was secretly Barron's real mother, not Melania. Then Barack Obama, in a rare off-the-cuff comment during a podcast, didn't exactly deny it. He just raised an eyebrow and said, "Some family matters are complicated." Social media exploded. Memes, fake photos, conspiracy threads everywhere. Trump had been raging about it on Truth Social, calling it the sickest fake news hoax yet, but he never sat down for a real interview to face it head on. Until tonight. He wasn't here to plug a book or talk policy. He came to kill the story himself, live in front of millions. Stephen Colbert was already standing at his mark, smiling that trademark half-smirk. But you could see the tiny flicker in his eyes when Trump appeared. Genuine surprise for maybe half a second. Then it was gone. He straightened his tie, gave a quick nod to the band to cut the music, and walked over like this was just another guest. No big dramatic entrance music, no over-the-top announcement. Just, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. The audience roared again, half thrilled, half on edge. Trump raised both hands like he was at a rally, soaking it in, then strode straight to the couch and sat down like he'd been there 100 times. Colbert stayed behind the desk for a beat, letting the noise settle. He didn't rush. He just looked at Trump with that calm, almost friendly stare that anyone who watches the show knows means trouble. Then Trump settled into the couch like he owned the place, legs crossed, arms spread wide across the backrest, that big grin plastered on his face. The applause was still dying down when he leaned forward, pointing right at Colbert. "Stephen, listen, you've got a nice little show here," he started, voice booming like he was at a rally. "People tell me all the time, 'Donald, your name is gold for ratings.' And they're right. Without me, without Trump in the headlines, this thing would be dead in the water. You know it, I know it, the whole country knows it." The crowd laughed, some loud and genuine, others a little uneasy. But Trump was already rolling. He didn't wait for Colbert to jump in. "You talk about comedy, you talk about truth, but let's be honest, your show runs on fake stories about me and my family. Every night, some crazy rumor, some made-up nonsense, and you just sit there smiling while it spreads." Sad, really sad. He shook his head like he was disappointed in a kid, then flashed that smirk again. "But tonight I'm here to fix it. I'm gonna roast you a little, Stephen. Because you deserve it. You let these lies fly, and then you act all innocent. Classic late-night move." The jabs kept coming, faster now. Trump leaned in closer, eyes locked on Colbert. "You pretend to be this fair guy, honest guy, Mr. Nice Host. But come on, we all see through it. Your ratings? Okay, sure, but nothing special. People tune in to see me get attacked, not because they love your jokes. And now you've got these disgusting rumors floating around. My daughter, my beautiful Ivanka, supposedly. What? Being Barron's mom? Give me a break. It's the worst, most disgusting fake news I've ever heard. Obama winks at it. Crockett runs her mouth, and you just sit there letting it happen. If you were really about truth, you'd shut it down. But no, you love the drama. He paused for effect, looking out at the audience like he was waiting for them to agree. I came here to set the record straight. My family's off limits. These attacks? They're low, even for you liberals. The room was electric. His supporters in the front rows cheered hard, pumping fists, yelling USO a couple times. But plenty of others just shifted in their seats, laughing nervously or whispering to the person next to them. A few boos slipped through too, low but there. Colbert just sat there letting the quiet stretch. Not awkward quiet, but the kind that makes you lean in. He didn't rush, didn't smirk too hard, just looked straight at Trump with that steady, almost kind expression. When he finally spoke, his voice was low and even, like he was talking to one person instead of millions watching at home. Mr. President, he said, I don't bring guests on to make them look bad. I really don't. But I do believe in facts. You've called these rumors disgusting, fake, the worst hoax ever. Fair enough. You've denied them loud and clear. But here's the thing. Facts don't care how loud you shout. They just sit there waiting. He paused again, short but deliberate, letting that sink in. And some facts have come my way that I think deserve a look. Not gossip, not memes, actual reports, documents, things people have put their names on. Trump shifted in his seat, the grin fading a little. He opened his mouth like he was about to jump in, but Colbert kept going, calm as ever. For example, there are reports, detailed ones, claiming Ivanka gave birth to Barron, secretly. Not in a hospital with press outside, but quietly, under a different name, different timeline. And to back that up, he nodded toward the big screen behind him. It lit up smooth and quick. No dramatic music, just the image appearing clean and clear. There it was, a photo, grainy but unmistakable, of Trump holding a newborn. Ivanka right next to him, smiling down at the baby. Dates stamped in the corner that lined up way too perfectly with Barron's birth. Another shot popped up beside it. Same people, same baby blanket, different angle. The timeline matched. Exactly. The studio sucked in a collective breath. Gasps rippled through the rows. Phones started lighting up again, even though they weren't supposed to. Trump's face tightened. He leaned forward fast, pointing at the screen. That's fake. Totally fake. You know it, Stephen. Photoshop, bad lighting, whatever. Come on, this is ridiculous. His voice cracked higher than usual. Louder, too, but it didn't land the same way. The energy he'd been riding all night started slipping. Colbert didn't raise his voice back. He just tilted his head slightly, like he was genuinely curious. I get it. You say it's fake. You're the president. You've got every right to call it out. But these aren't random internet pics. They come from people who were there, people who signed affidavits, people willing to go on record. And the dates? They don't lie. He let another beat pass, eyes never leaving Trump's. So here's what I'm offering you right now live, in front of everyone. Explain it. Tell us what really happened. Tell the audience why these photos exist, why the timeline fits, why people are saying what they're saying. No spin, no deflection, just the truth. Because they deserve to hear it from you. The room went dead quiet for a second, then whispers broke out everywhere. Sharp, urgent, spreading fast. Trump's hands gripped the edge of the couch, knuckles white. He looked out at the crowd, then back at Colbert, mouth working like he was searching for the perfect comeback. But nothing came right away. Trump's face was getting redder by the second. Then he shot up halfway out of the couch, pointing at the screen like he could make the photos disappear just by jabbing his finger hard enough. Fake news! All of it! Fake! 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 He shouted, voice booming through the studio speakers. You people put anything up there. Photoshop, deepfake, whatever it takes to hurt me. This is a disgrace, a total disgrace to the office. The audience reacted in waves. His diehards cheered louder, trying to drown out the growing murmurs from everyone else. He paced a couple steps in front of the couch, arms wide like he was back at a rally turning the crowd. Stephen, you're better than this. Or maybe you're not. But I'm not sitting here taking this garbage. Colbert stayed seated, calm as ever, waiting for the storm to pass a little. When Trump finally dropped back onto the couch, breathing heavy, Colbert nodded toward the control booth. The big screen flickered again. This time it wasn't photos. It was a scanned document, official looking, with hospital letterhead faded at the edges but still readable. Redacted parts here and there, but clear lines jumped out. Paternity testing requested. Inconsistencies noted. Maternal DNA profile does not match records on file. The date stamped right there lined up with Barron's birth month. No names fully visible, but the implications hit like a truck. The room went dead quiet for a beat, then a low wave of gas and "Oh my God" whispers rolled through the seats. Trump stared at the screen, mouth open for a second before he snapped it shut. That's nothing. Leaked garbage, probably cooked up in some basement. You think I'm scared of a piece of paper? Come on! But his voice cracked on the last word, and he sat back hard, hands clenched on his knees. Colbert didn't gloat. He just spoke softly. It's a leaked medical summary, Mr. President, from a facility that handled high-profile births. People have sworn to its authenticity under penalty of perjury. If it's fake, fine, prove it. But right now it's sitting there for everyone to see. Before Trump could fire back, Colbert glanced at the monitor on his desk. And speaking of people willing to go on record, the screen split suddenly. A new window popped up. Live video feed. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett's face appeared, clear and composed, sitting in what looked like her office with an American flag behind her. The audience erupted again. Half cheers, half stunned silence. Crockett leaned into the camera. Good evening, Mr. President. I didn't expect to be joining you tonight, but since we're talking facts, let me share a few I've heard directly. Trump's eyes narrowed to slits. This is ambush TV. Rigged. You set this up. Crockett didn't blink. I've spoken to nurses who were on duty that night. One told me she saw Ivanka in a private suite, post-delivery, while the official story had Melania flying in later. Another confirmed the newborn was handed off quickly. No press, no photos except for family. They were told to sign ND as thicker than a phone book. I've got their sworn statements if you want them. Trump exploded. Lies! Political sabotage from the radical left. You and Obama cooked this up to destroy me. Jealous, bitter, all of it. Crockett just shook her head slowly. This isn't about politics, sir. It's about a child. And the truth. Colbert raised a hand gently, cutting through the shouting. Let's keep this civil, folks. We're all here for answers. He waited until the noise dipped, then nodded to the control room one more time. Another document appeared on screen. Screenshots of old emails, timestamps from years back. Subject lines like, family secret, handle carefully, and Barron logistics, keep it tight. One email chain from a former aide. Boss says no hospital records under real names. Ivanka's call. The sender's name was blurred, but the chain went straight to people known to be in Trump's inner circle. The audience gasped audibly this time. Sharp intakes of breath, a few people covering their mouths. Phones were out everywhere, recording, tweeting, the whole place buzzing like a live wire. Trump's hands were shaking now, just a little, but visible. He stared at the emails, then at Colbert, then back at the screen. For the first time all night, no quick comeback came. No roar, no point, no tremendous or believe me. Just silence from him, heavy and stunned. The crowd felt it too. The shift was complete. Trump finally snapped. He shot to his feet so fast the couch rocked back, face flushed deep red, veins popping in his neck. Enough! This is rigged! Total ambush! Cut to commercial! Cut it now! He yelled, jabbing a finger toward the control booth like he could order the whole show off the air. His arms flailed wide, gesturing at the screen, at Colbert, at the audience. Pure fury. You think you can do this to me? The president? On live TV? This is disgraceful. Disgraceful. The studio lights caught every bead of sweat on his forehead. His supporters jumped up too, cheering him on. But the rest of the room was frozen, watching the meltdown in real time. Colbert didn't budge. He stayed seated, hands flat on the desk, voice steady as a rock. Mr. President, we're live. No commercial break. And we're not done yet. He gave a small nod and the big screen switched again. This time it was audio. No video, just a waveform pulsing as a voice crackled through the speakers. Clear enough to hear every word. It was a former aide, someone who'd worked close to the family for years, voice low and nervous like he was whispering into a hidden recorder. Look, the plan was simple. Ivanka delivers quietly at the private clinic. Melania shows up later for the public photos. No records under her name. We paid the staff to keep quiet. Boss said it had to stay in the family. Period. The clip cut off mid-sentence, but the damage was done. The audience gasped loud, sharp collective inhales. Phones lit up brighter than ever. Trump froze mid-gesture, mouth half open, eyes locked on the speakers like they just slapped him. Before he could recover, Colbert spoke again, calm and measured. That's from a whistleblower who came forward last week. Sworn statement attached. Name redacted for safety, but the recording's been verified. Trump spun back toward the desk, pointing hard. Lies, all lies. You doctored that deepfake audio now? Pathetic. But his voice wasn't as strong anymore. It cracked on the edges. The room felt smaller, hotter. Every eye on him. Colbert glanced at his monitor one last time. One more thing, Mr. President. We got a message earlier today. The screen split again. This time a pre-recorded clip of Barack Obama sitting in a simple office, looking straight into the camera. No smile, no smirk, just serious. I've seen the briefings, not rumors, intelligence summaries from people I trust, the inconsistencies in the official birth records, the private medical logs, the staff accounts. They add up. This isn't politics. It's about transparency. A child deserves the truth about where he came from. The clip ended clean. No fancy editing, no music. Just Obama's words hanging there. Trump exploded again, louder this time. Obama! Of course! Jealous, bitter, still can't get over losing. You hate that I'm back, don't you? You and your buddies cooked this whole thing up to smear me. He paced in front of the couch, ranting faster. You lost, Barack. You lost big. And now you're hiding behind screens like a coward. The audience split hard. Boos rained down from one side, applause and shouts from the other. Chaos rolled through the rows like a wave. People standing, yelling at each other. Security edging closer, but not stepping in yet. Colbert raised both hands gently. Let's hear him out. Trump kept going, defiant, voice hoarse now. I'm the best president this country ever had. My family is perfect, beautiful, loyal. These attacks? Weak, fake. I won't let you win. He jabbed the air one last time, then turned like he was about to storm off. He took 2 steps toward the wings. Secret Service guys tensed. But then he stopped, spun back, chest heaving. No, I'm not running. I'm finishing this. Colbert waited until the noise dipped just enough. Then he pulled up a simple graphic on the screen, a clean timeline. Dates, events, quotes. Trump's own words from old interviews layered next to the new evidence. Here's what you said in 2019. Barron was born healthy. Melania did great, beautiful delivery. Hospital records we've seen say otherwise. Here's the photo timestamp from the newborn pic. Matches Ivanka's travel logs, not Melania's. Here's the aide's email again. No press until Melania arrives. It all lines up, Mr. President. Every piece. He didn't raise his voice. Didn't need to. If this is all fake, tell us how. Right now. Because the American people are watching. Trump stared at the timeline. His mouth worked, searching for words, but nothing came. The bluster drained out of him like air from a balloon. He sank back onto the couch. Slow, heavy. No more shouting. No more pointing, just stunned silence from him, eyes fixed on the screen like it had betrayed him. The audience went quiet too, boos fading, cheers dying, replaced by a thick, heavy hush. The lights stayed bright, but the energy in the studio had shifted completely. Colbert finally broke the quiet, voice soft but clear. We're almost out of time, Mr. President. I want to thank you for coming on tonight. This wasn't easy, for any of us. But truth isn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be out there, so people can see it, judge it, and decide for themselves. He didn't smile or smirk. No victory lap. Just a nod, respectful, almost gentle. "We appreciate you being here." Trump didn't respond right away. He looked around the room, first at the audience, then at the cameras, then back at Colbert. Slowly, he pushed himself up from the couch. No big dramatic exit, no final zinger. He just straightened his tie, gave a tight nod to the crowd, and walked toward the wings. The Secret Service fell in around him like shadows. Whispers followed him the whole way, sharp, urgent, spreading through the rows faster than applause ever could. A few people clapped politely out of habit, but most just watched him go, stunned. The man who'd stormed in like he owned the place left looking smaller, shoulders hunched just a fraction. The door closed behind him, and the studio let out a breath it didn't know it was holding. Colbert turned back to the camera as the band kicked in softly for the outro. "Folks, that's all we have tonight. Thanks for watching. Whatever you think about what happened here, one thing's clear. Questions matter. Answers matter more. Good night." The applause started slow, then built, mixed, confused, but real. Some stood, others sat frozen. The credits rolled, but nobody moved right away. Phones were already out, thumbs flying. The show was over, but the night was just starting. Within minutes, the internet lit up like fireworks. Clips of Trump's face when the audio played went viral first. Frozen frame memes, reaction videos, side-by-side comparisons of his denials versus the evidence. Audience members started posting shaky phone footage from inside the theater. "I was there. You could feel the air change." He looked lost. Colbert didn't even raise his voice and still ended him. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag late show takedown. Hashtag Barron truth. Hashtag Trump meltdown. Then the real twist hit. An anonymous account dropped enhanced versions of those newborn photos. Sharper, clearer, metadata pulled and highlighted. Facial recognition matches popped up online within the hour. Ivanka's features unmistakable next to the baby. Timeline locked in tighter than ever. The enhancements spread like wildfire. Shared, debated, analyzed on every platform. By morning, they were everywhere. Trump's team tried to counter fast. Truth Social posts screaming deep fakes and hoax level 1000. But it was too late. The damage was rolling. The next day, he stepped up to a White House podium for an unscheduled press conference, looking tired, tie a little crooked. "This is all coordinated. The fake media, the deep state, my enemies, they're desperate, but I'm stronger than ever. We'll fight this. Tremendous fight." Reporters shouted questions about the photos, the audio, the emails. He waved them off, called it more witch hunt nonsense. But his usual fire was dimmed. The press room felt different. Less chaos, more scrutiny. The story wasn't dying down. It was growing. Looking back on that night, it wasn't about one big gotcha moment or a shouting match. It was quieter than that and somehow heavier. Trump came in swinging hard, trying to bulldoze the conversation the way he always had. Colbert didn't swing back. He just stood there calm, precise, laying out pieces until the picture couldn't be ignored. And that made all the difference. Calm beat bluster. Facts beat volume. In a world where everyone's yelling to be heard, the guy who spoke softly and waited turned out to have the loudest impact. People walked away asking bigger questions. What else don't we know about power? About families at the top? About how much gets hidden behind smiles and headlines? And what happens when the media actually holds someone accountable? No fear, no favor. The night didn't give easy answers, but it forced everyone watching to start looking for them. And that, more than any roast or rant, was what stuck. If you enjoyed this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update.